The Backrooms. You've been here before. Entity number 144. Nonbelievers. Concord Entity Classification System. Habitats. Majority. Indexed Entity Threat Score. Danger 2. Intelligence B. Class Enigmatic. Properties: civilized, aggressive, and benevolent. Image caption: a depiction of the nonbelievers. Description: Nonbelievers, also known as Entity 144, consist of religious missionaries. They roam the backrooms in search of subjects to join their so-called faith. Several posters and flyers can be found on different levels, advertising survivors to worship their beliefs. Their main base is situated on level 20, Warehouse, and is known as the Faithful Grounds. Footnote: apart from immoral nonbelievers. End footnote. Behaviors: there are two types of nonbelievers: merciful nonbelievers and immoral nonbelievers. Merciful nonbelievers often travel in groups consisting of 3 to 6 members, wandering the levels in search of humans to be part of their quote-unquote faith, preferably survivors who have been isolated or experiencing grief. If they come across a human subject, they will insist they join. They will offer items as a show of hospitality, such as almond water, royal rations, and other supplies, to persuade individuals. Refusal: if the subject were to decline their offer, the merciful nonbelievers would become more persistent, promising refuge and a large surplus of supplies. They will go as far as to humiliate the subject through manipulation and disheartening comments. Continuing to ignore their remarks will eventually result in the merciful nonbelievers searching elsewhere. Acceptance: accepting to become a merciful nonbeliever will lead the group guiding the chosen subject to level 20. The transformation of becoming one of these entities remains unknown, since no member is willing to discuss this process outside their organization. Merciful nonbelievers also congregate in groups of 5 to 20 members, remaining stationary for a period of 5 minutes to 2 hours. During this time, they kneel on one leg, with their fists making contact with the floor and their heads tucked into their chest. Additionally, merciful nonbelievers will also chant/speak in an unknown language to each other or during prayer. If someone were to speak negatively about the nonbeliever's beliefs, they would be warned. Continuing this behavior sends the merciful nonbelievers into an aggressive state. They will inflict incapacitatable wounds to the spinal cord or the legs, rendering the subject unable to move. The merciful nonbelievers then proceed to leave the subject vulnerable to other threats in the back rooms. Violating the merciful nonbelievers' beliefs include attempting to unmask them, attempting to physically harm the merciful nonbelievers, threatening or insulting their intentions, addressing another religion or set of beliefs, interacting with them while playing. Immoral nonbelievers travel alone when hunting. If one comes across a human or a humanoid subject, including merciful nonbelievers, it will protrude red bolts of electricity from its hands to immobilize the target. Once it makes physical contact with the still living subject, 3 possible scenarios could play out. The first and most common: the subject will begin to have all life drained from it and will rapidly decompose. Any attempts to resist only accelerate the process. All bodily elements of the subject are absorbed as nutrients for the nonbeliever. In the second scenario, which occurs if the nonbeliever is not in a hungry state, the immoral nonbeliever will ruthlessly kill their victim. The method of killing varies with each humanoid subject, and possibly serves as a form of quote-unquote self-desire for them. The third scenario, and the least likely to occur: the immoral nonbeliever will transform its victim into another immoral nonbeliever. This has not been witnessed firsthand, but the merciful nonbelievers have confirmed that they are able to do this. Biology: non-believers consist of 4 different colored variants. Their clothing includes buttoned raincoats, matching colored rain boots, blue jeans, and a mask. Merciful nonbelievers. Nonbelievers who behave passively toward other humans have orange coats with blue masks, green coats with purple masks, or gray coats with white masks. Footnote: the difference in color of the merciful nonbelievers possibly serves a purpose to separate them apart from one another. End footnote. Merciful nonbelievers wear plastic masks to conceal their faces, with a black colored substance used to create the impression of a surprised expression. Immoral nonbelievers. This variant is extremely rare and the most hostile among the group. Immoral nonbelievers wear blue coats with red masks and assert a hostile aggression towards all life within the backrooms. They are the only variant of nonbelievers that possess inhuman strength and supernatural abilities. They are often able to break through walls and levitate off the ground. On this variant's mask, a menacing smile with large teeth is drawn in a white substance. Avoid them at all costs. Immoral nonbelievers possess a high pain tolerance, having been capable of withstanding the majority of handheld and throwable weapons within the backrooms. In the earliest encounters with this colored variant, the most reliable method of stopping them has been through the use of fire salt. Larger ingots, consisting of 50 grams or more, have been proven to briefly weaken them, allowing escape. Discovery. The exact origin of nonbelievers currently remains unknown, but the group, known as the Lost, had referenced the nonbelievers as false worshippers. The following is a list of rules displayed along a wall outside of their main base. 1. Everyone is to be treated as equals. 2. Always keep your appearance concealed. 3. Leave the sinners for the dead. 4. Save time to pray. 5. Protect outsiders from our former comrades. Additional info. The following are records of encounters with merciful nonbelievers and immoral nonbelievers. Both were taken for closer analysis and to further understand the nonbeliever entities. Location: Level 5, Terror Hotel. Lead interviewer: Derek Sprain. Interviewee: Human subject. Note from Operative Sprain: this interview was conducted 5 days after retrieving a human subject, who was unable to recall their name, on Level 5. They were found unresponsive, in a sitting position, along the corner of a wall. Upon this discovery, several bodies of merciful nonbelievers had been brutally slaughtered. The subject was treated with intravenous therapy and experienced stages of dissociative amnesia during the interview on Day 6. Begin log. Derek Sprain. Oh good, you're awake. Subject. The subject sits up in bewilderment. Why does my body feel empty and loose? Also, where am I and who are you? Derek Sprain. My name is Derek Sprain. You were asleep for about 5 days now. Do not worry. You're in one of our rehabilitative centers. Our trusted doctors have been checking your vitals periodically so that you can make a full recovery. You're in good hands, my friend. Subject. That's a relief. Derek Sprain. Would you mind telling me your name? Subject. I am not sure. I have forgotten my name. Derek Sprain. Well, what can you recall? Subject. The subject clutches the top of his head with his right hand. Yeah, I was running from something. I was running from some sort of entity covered in head-to-toe clothing. I remember getting struck in the back, which felt as though I was being taken down with a stun gun or a taser. The lower half of my body refused to move when a hand hoisted me by my neck up into the air. Its appearance was downright disturbing. Derek Sprain. Can you describe the creature? Subject. It looked human and was about my height. It wore a blue coat with a red mask. Derek Sprain. It seems you've encountered an immoral nonbeliever. Damn, you're lucky to be alive. Subject. What are they? Derek Sprain. We're not sure ourselves. The nonbelievers are a puzzling religious organization. I'm sorry for interrupting. Keep going with your story. Subject. The shiv that I had wasn't able to puncture its body. Everything at that point felt disorienting, as the sound of an explosion had went off. The last thing I remember was being hoisted by my arm before blacking out. The subject reaches into his left pant pocket and pulls out a royal ration. Derek Sprain. Oh God, what have they done? Subject. What do you mean by that? And what are the non-believers? Derek Sprain. There is much you do not know. We will speak of this later when you have fully recovered. The subject shrugs and falls asleep. End log. Summary. After 23 days of intravenous therapy, the subject was able to make a partial recovery. During their treatment, medical officials observed the subject's muscles, as well as their organs, including the brain, stomach, and intestines, had been atrophying. Footnote: atrophy. Body parts including cells, tissue, muscles, or organs decrease in size, or waste away. End footnote. The bodies of the merciful non-believers retrieved from level 5 were likely killed by the same immoral non-believer from the subject's interpretation. After examining the bodies, despite having our human appearance and internal organs, the researchers have confirmed the merciful non-believer's DNA was unrelated to human beings. It can be deduced from the following analysis that individuals who have been converted into non-believers are no longer human. Location: Level 20, Warehouse, Lead Interviewer, Kai Shanks. Interviewee: an orange with a blue mask non-believer. Begin log. A group of merciful non-believers confronts Kai and his men by the front entrance of the Faithful Grounds. An orange coat with a blue mask non-believer speaks with Kai while offering his group almond water. Kai: thank you, but my men and I are not interested in becoming non-believers today. Non-believer: alright, fine. It's better in here than out there with those violent monsters ready to tear you to shreds. Kai, sarcastically: oh, and I'm sure your community is all high and filled with morals. Non-believer: excuse me? Kai: anyways, I would like to ask a few questions about your religious customs. Non-believer: okay, I guess. Kai: great. So, what do you believe in? Do you worship an almighty existence? Non-believer: the God you speak of has abandoned us in a place of no return. The only hope we have now is each other. The non-believers begin to chant in their unknown language. Kai: okay, why do you make new members? The non-believers stop chanting. Non-believer: to spread our belief, of course. Kai: what are your goals for this religious organization? Non-believer: that information is only kept between the religion and its members. Why are you so persistent in these personal questions? Kai. Kai takes a deep breath. Sorry, I just wanted to know more about your kind. On more of an important note, I came to inform you that one of your comrades has heavily wounded an associate of ours. The non-believer remains still for a few seconds before making snapping noises from its hand. Non-believer: would they happen to be wearing a blue coat with a red mask and a crude white smile? Kai: yes. Can you tell them to back off? Otherwise we'll have to engage with brute force. The non-believers chuckle to themselves. Non-believer: go on ahead. They're practically indestructible. Even if you somehow manage to kill one out of sheer luck, they can always recruit others. Kai: what? But you guys created them. Non-believer: it wasn't our fault. They had spoken out against us, so we had to kill every last one of them. Unfortunately, a few had managed to escape. Kai: well, what about their abilities? You should at the very least know how they got them. The non-believers shrug their shoulders. Non-believers: sorry, we do not know. Kai: are you kidding? It's bad enough that we have to deal with smilers and skin stealers. Now we have to watch our backs for these violent, life essence stealing killing machines from something your kind had accidentally created. Your religion can go to hell. Kai holds his mouth shut with both his hands. The non-believer leans its head close to Kai's face. Non-believer: this is your only warning. Don't ever come back. If we see your face again, we'll not leave you for dead. We'll end your life ourselves. Kai, wait, what? Nonbeliever, get the fuck away from here, now! The sound of running footsteps can be heard before the camera cuts out. End log. Result. Kai had brought the recording to the Meg shortly after. After reviewing the recording, it could be inferred the merciful nonbelievers have been the cause of the immense hatred of the immoral nonbelievers. Future progress will be recorded here if anything else happens involving nonbelievers. Do's and don'ts. Do. Not consider becoming a merciful nonbeliever. Hide from immoral nonbelievers and stay out of their line of sight. Don't. Insult the beliefs of the merciful nonbelievers. Try to reason or fight immoral nonbelievers.